Well, hello everyone. I'm back for another update here. I'm on the Appalachian Trail here, and this is one of the many shelters on the trail. I don't remember the name of this shelter. I'm going to see if I can find it. As you can see, it has a picnic table. It's the Tom Lloyd shelter. This is the access trail to it. It's not a very long trail. It's only a few hundred feet. And I have this place to myself today, at least for now. There's a trail. It goes down to a spring and some tent sites. Here's the inside. You even have a loft up over here where people can sleep. That's where the logbook goes, right there. Even have a little Bible here. And here's the logbook. And somebody was here as recently as August 20th. They wrote, going to Georgia, came from Greenbrier State Park, Maryland. Took a week off. First night back on the AT. Have not seen a lot of activity so far. This other person, I guess they didn't know exactly what day it was. Many thanks to Gordon, who just generously donated his trekking poles. 1 in a million. August 16th, 1.6 miles away from finishing up my 160-mile section. Woo-hoo! I learned you can always poo in a flush toilet in Shenandoah if you plan it right. Peace, love, and happy hiking to all. August 5th. So there was quite a gap there. I am back in the motherfucking mountains. Holy shit, was mid-Atlantic and PA boring as fuck. Let's rip some big miles through the Shenandoah. Excites for the coming miles, yet I am mentally worn out from not seeing people. With no friends around. I was getting up at 5:30 from Vermont to Connecticut, and then grew lazy, taking baby steps to grind this shit out. Hope all you crazy southbounders who are starting at Katahdin right around now are having fun with the cold. Hats off. So this person apparently started in Maine and is working his way south. This one from August 15th, hiked from S22 to here last night. 522 to here. That's where I started, 522. Swallowed a bug on my way up here, day 1 of 6. The Bachelor, but not for long. August 10th, stepping in for a break. Picking up at a spot where I left off 2.5 years ago. Southbound through Shenandoah National Park. August 9th, Dad and Daughter Trail, time today. 8:20 miles to go before we sleep. August 5th, PATC shelter overseer into post COVID closure signs. August 3rd, first day of an 11-day hike northbound into PA. Still early, so I might press on, enjoying the rest in a dry place as it rains. Much love. So as you can see, this is a sampling of what people have wrote in here. So all in all, it does not look like too many people came through here considering popularity of this trail. Our first entry was February 8th, 2020. So I'm going to do a quick update on the weather. As busy as record-breaking as we're calling this season, at the moment there are no hurricanes or typhoons globally. Really, really super busy, isn't it? We do have those two systems, but neither is a hurricane right now, and it's in question whether neither one of them will become a hurricane still. Marcus is... That was a joke. It was not even a tropical storm this morning. I mean, it is gathering momentum now. Maybe a weak tropical storm now. Convection is developing in the eastern Gulf. It's at the southern end of a frontal boundary that extends up through the middle Atlantic states. They're still saying it's going to hit New Orleans. I think it's going to be more Pensacola, that it's going to head toward maybe Gulfport, Mississippi, somewhere in there. Looks like it's heading toward. The other system is still over the Dominican Republic. It's a weak tropical storm. It does look pretty well organized, though. But it is over the Dominican Republic and is heading toward Cuba. It's probably not going to have a chance to gain much strength being over land. So, when it emerges out into the Gulf, a lot depends on if the trough over the east is still going to be in place or not, or if it's going to start moving out. If it begins moving out, it may head toward Texas. If the trough remains in place, it's going to probably do a curve to the east and follow a similar track to its predecessor Marcus, and perhaps become a minimal hurricane in the Gulf. When it gets to the Gulf, maybe it might become a minimal hurricane, perhaps. However, what nobody is talking about is, after these two storms, the Atlantic is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. There is nothing going on with the Cape Verde systems right now. The whole Atlantic is extremely quiet right now beyond these two systems. The system that came off Africa a few days ago has dissipated. There's nothing left of it. There is another weak system getting ready to come off Africa. The next big system is over Central Africa. It's going to be several days before it comes out into the Atlantic, and it is taking a southerly trajectory, so it's hard to say whether anything is going to come of that either. So we're going to be going into September. Once these two storms are done, we're going to be going into September, the peak of the season, with no activity in the Atlantic, and nobody is talking about that. Everybody's going on and on about how this is a record season, and well, I'm sorry, the whole thing is totally fake. this has not been a record season. They have named the majority of the storms they have named, or systems, should not have gotten names. That includes Marcus. Marcus, I looked at the satellite today and I could barely even recognize a system there. I mean, maybe it might become a tropical storm later today in the eastern Gulf. Maybe it might. It looks like it is gaining some strength, but what we really got to look at here is how many major hurricanes have there been so far this year? None. We've only had in the Atlantic so far just 2 hurricanes, and they both were very minimal. One, I call into question whether it really was actually a hurricane or not. Does that really sound like a record season? We're almost into, we got 1 more week to go till September. To me, it sounds like a normal to slightly below normal season so far. I did say it was going to be an inactive season. I did predict there might be a couple of hurricanes the end of August, early September. I did predict that. I didn't say it would be totally inactive. But man, after Laura, there is nothing behind it in the Atlantic. Nothing. We're going to have a whole week of no activity at the peak of the season here. In the Pacific, we have that tropical storm. It has made a turn to the north. It's moving northward now. It does appear to be a tropical storm, possibly even a minimal typhoon, maybe. It's not really. I don't think the water in the East China Sea seems to be quite warm enough for it to really get revved up, at least right now. But it is going to threaten perhaps southern Japan in a couple days with some wind and rain. Okinawa is already getting wind and rain from this system. It is now moving up toward the Korean Peninsula. I'm projecting it's probably going to turn more to the northeast and head toward southern island of Japan, and give that area some wind and rain beginning of this week. The monsoon continues, but it seems to be winding down. Still some areas, though, that are getting some really heavy rain. Bangladesh and Pakistan and northwestern India are 2 areas that have really caught it lately. But there are other areas in between that have been drier, getting a break, as well as Laos is also getting some heavy rain as well. But the coverage seems to be diminishing. And then we have that low that was over Great Britain has now moved up into Scandinavia, and I've read posts where it could bring some snow to parts of Norway, the mountains. So that's an interesting development. And then the southern hemisphere, we have the system now off of Australia, now is heading toward New Zealand. Going to bring some cold weather, snow showers to the mountains as that moves eastward, and continues to pump cold air down into Australia, or up into Australia from the Antarctic as well. The southerly flow on the backside is bringing some cold air up into that region. South America, they are getting pounded in the very southern part of Argentina again, with some more snow and a real blizzard to the east out over the Atlantic, as a low, intense low, is just north of the Antarctic Peninsula. It's really bringing a lot of inclement weather there to that area. So if anybody wants to have the shelter to themselves, I guess this is a good time of year to come here. Not many people around. So that is going to be it for this video. I am going to be moving on shortly. It was 6 3/4 miles from where I'm staying to here, and 3 of it was along Route 522 to get to the trailhead. So I'm not sure. I may go up to the Skyline Drive intersection with the trail. Maybe, I don't know. It's already getting to be 1:30. I think they have an overlook up ahead, so I may at least go that far. It was quite a bit of climbing to get up here. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this view of the shelter here and one of the many on the Appalachian Trail. I will be back soon.